All right. Hello, everyone. We are live on the Cosmic Press Facebook page and YouTube channel. My name is R. Alan Seiler. I'm the owner, author, editor of Cosmic Press, and I have a very special guest with me tonight. We have Stephanie Jackson.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, I've
When we
missed
don't
seeing your face all year this year.
Right? With the whole convention circuit pretty much shut down, it's like there's a whole segment of, your friend circle that you don't connect with in person.
Yeah, exactly.
It's depressing.
It is. It is.
That's all right. 2021 is going to be our year.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
All right. So let's get to chatting. How are you this evening?
I am doing pretty good. I had a little bit of a rough day at work today, so I'm happy to be home and
Yeah.
chatting and doing art stuff.
Awesome. Okay. So let's jump back to the very beginning. Where did the art bug catch you? Where did you start your art journey?
Oh my goodness, I've been drawing for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
I started drawing when I was probably in kindergarten. I started illustrating and writing my own stories when I was a
Mm.
little kid. And I did it all the way through elementary school and middle school. Me and my sister both wrote our own stories and I illustrated them. And that's really how I got my start.
All right. So when I was I had sort of the same path when I was a little tyke. And the first things that I can remember drawing are dinosaurs, elephants, and whales. What were things that you sort of gravitated to? Like, what was your earliest art subjects?
People.
Yeah.
I remember drawing people. I think one of the first things I can remember drawing was I wrote a story about these people who went and had a picnic out in a forest, and I forget exactly what happened, but things escalated very quickly and there was a police chase with police cars. And I remember drawing the police car and the policeman drawing chasing the people in the forest. I must have been about, I don't know, 5 or 6, and I
Wow.
remember presenting it to my parents, and they were like, "That's very interesting."
I can imagine that was their reaction. That's funny. I used to draw like after I got through my dinosaur, like large animal period, I started getting into like doing my own comic books and creating my own comic characters. But I would draw like stories based on Lost in Space and all this kind of crazy stuff.
Mhm.
Um, did you go to did you go to art school?
No, well, sort of. My bachelor's degree is in graphic design, but there
Mm,
wasn't a lot of actual drawing involved in that. It's
right.
more like ad advertising design for marketing and media and stuff like that.
Right, right, right. Um, you have a DeviantArt page.
I do. It's kind of like alone and dusty, and I haven't really updated it in a very long time.
But you had a thing happen with a phone case. Y-
Yeah, a thing,
A thing happened. It
a
was kind
thing.
of a cool thing.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool thing. Uh, should I tell the story?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, this actually happened off of my Redbubble.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was a Redbubble. So I have all my art on a site called Redbubble, which is where you can post your art and people can buy it on things like phone cases or tote bags or as art prints and everything. And I do a lot of my art as fan art from a show called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And one day, the star of the show, Clark Gregg, just posted on his Instagram that his new phone case had come in, and it was my artwork on a phone case of one of the characters from the show. And he tagged the actor in it and everything. And my social media just blew up of all my friends tagging me in it and commenting on all of his social media, just freaking out.
I remember that day.
Yeah, that was a good day.
That was a good day.
And I finally got to meet him at a convention last year and tell him that I was the person who drew his phone case.
That's
And
so cool.
yeah, I asked him how in the world he found it. And he said he just Googled Fitz fan art for the
Wow.
character. And he said he was looking for the best fan art he could find. And he thought mine was the best. So that was probably the nicest thing he could have said to me.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to move to, I think this is your first professional credit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Tell us about this book and tell how this came about, because this is a really cool project.
Yeah. The publishers of the book, or which I think it's an imprint that the BBC actually did, they posted on Twitter that they were putting together a book called 100 Illustrated Adventures, and they put out a call on Twitter and social media asking for fans to submit drawings from particular episodes, I think just from the new series of the show. And I submitted some artwork that I had done. I took an old piece and I spruced it up and I sent it in, and then proceeded to forget all about it until they emailed me.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that they had chosen my artwork to represent the story The Girl Who Waited from the 11th Doctor's era, and that they actually should have notified me months earlier, but they forgot.
Oh, well, I'm glad they remembered at some point.
Yeah, and they were supposed to send me a free copy of the book, but they never did.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's all right. I went out and bought it. So
Of course you did. I would have too.
Yeah, it was really exciting to see my artwork amongst everybody else's in the book, because there's so much good artwork in there.
Yeah, it's an incredible book. It's so beautifully illustrated, and honestly, your piece is one of the highlights. I've got a first comment, and it's from somebody you know.
Oh
It's
my
from
goodness!
She's tuning in from work.
Hello.
Hi,
Thank
Allison.
you for tuning in from work, Allison.
For other viewers, if you have comments or questions, just drop them in the comment section below, and we will address them as quickly as we can. So the first thing that you and I worked together on was, let me find my picture of it. Oh no, where did I put it? Well, anyway, it was a book called Children of Time. Here's a collection of covers, and it's the middle one. And it was a book about the companions of Doctor Who. And I contacted you and I said, here's the thing I'm looking for. It was divided up into 4 sections, and I wanted a piece to head each section.
Yeah.
These are the pieces that you did for me, which just blew my mind. They were so perfect.
Oh, thank you.
What was the challenge in putting together these images?
Well, you asked me for the specific companions to go in each image, and my challenge was coming up with trying to keep I guess a consistent style, something that would unify each image. And for that, I went with the roundels for
each
era of TARDIS. So
yes, which I thought was a really great idea.
Yeah, so that kind of gave them a background to go with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried to, of course, give each character a pose that kind of, signified their character and gave them a little bit of attitude. But yeah, the roundels really kind of tied them all together.
Let me get hold the phone. Let me get the couple of comments. I'm going to take this off the screen, and I've got some people who are chiming in. We've got Christine says, "Hey, sister."
Hello, sister. That is my actual sister.
Lindsay says, "Whoa, this is cool."
That is my friend Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay. Thank you for watching.
Right? Allison is commenting on my framing of your artwork. Of course, I framed. I was so excited about those 4 pieces. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better product from that. I just thought they were so beautiful. And then I found these frames. I was like looking for some frames, and I found these gold ones, and I thought, oh my God, that's going to be perfect to just set them off, you know? So we have Kat who says, just saying, hey, I love the art that she bought from you. Love your style. I'm so happy for you and your illustration in this book.
Thank you, Kat. And thank you for commissioning me too. I was really happy to do that for you.
That's awesome. My good friend, Miss Sullivan, teen author. Lovely illustrations. Yes. Catherine is one of my best friends. I just absolutely adore her. So let's talk about our big project.
Yeah.
Our big project that's out in the world now.
Finally.
Right. It took so long, but it's okay because it's worth it.
Yeah.
Let me talk about, the one thing I did not put on here was the cover art. What a dum-dum
Oh
I am.
my God.
But it's a children's picture book. It's called Lucy Can't Dance. And I'm going to start with, well, first let's talk about how this whole thing came about.
Yeah.
I contacted you
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, how would you
About
like
a little over a
to
year ago.
illustrate an entire picture book?"
Yeah.
Did that freak you out?
Yes, very
Okay.
much.
Was it a good freak out at least?
Yes.
Okay,
But
awesome.
it was mostly like, you want me to do what now? Oh, a what? A children's book?
So tell me about your initial thoughts. I sort of gave you the idea, and like, where did your thought process start on putting this whole thing together?
Well, I will admit I was really like, what's the word I want to say? I was really apprehensive because I didn't know if my art style would lend itself very well to like a children's book.
Yeah.
But you convinced me that it would be a good idea. And so I thought, well, it's outside my normal box and it'll be something new. So I'll
Hmm.
try it. And um and I'd never drawn children before. So I was like, okay, we'll try it. And if he hates it, I'll try again. And but my thought process was to I guess mostly since it was a children's book to not get too detailed and to keep the illustrations mostly simple.
Hmm.
Um, because I know in a lot of my artwork, especially on the backgrounds, I get really, really detailed, but since it's a children's book for children, not to get too
Yeah.
bogged down in the heavy details.
Do you remember our starting point for the character of Lucy? I sort of had a vague idea of who she should be, but I left a lot of like her look up to you.
Yeah, you said to base it a little bit off one of your nieces, correct?
Exactly. The one clear thing that I had in mind was she had
Her
like a
hair.
side ponytail, right? Exactly. So I want to show your initial sketch of who Lucy was going to be, and then the finished product from that sketch. So talk us a little bit through putting this sketch together, the initial ideas.
Well, I wanted her clothes to be bright and colorful, and for her outfit, I think I think I had actually had an outfit like that when I was a kid. It was something where it was not quite a dress, but it was a longer shirt that had ruffles on the bottom, and I thought it was really cute and something that a little girl would wear that was, fun, not too fussy, but something that you could pair with leggings and that she can move around in really easily. And then
Hmm.
you requested the red shoes.
Right, because that fit
Red
in with
shoes.
a line in the story.
Yes, exactly.
Um, the design on her shirt.
Um, That was just to be honest, I did not actually put much thought into that. I just thought a shooting star would be a really cute thing to have
Hmm.
on her shirt. And it might go well with the polka dots. I just thought it would be cute.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but I absolutely loved it. The first time I saw it, I thought that is perfect. So I'm glad you came up with that idea. That was great.
And of
I want to,
course, her pose is like a little bit sassy, a little bit fun, which of course she's not quite there at the beginning of the story. She'll
yeah,
get there.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I loved about this was that you sort of captured who she becomes by the end of the. And I don't think I'm not. I don't even remember if I had actually sent you the text of the book at this point. I'm not sure if you had even read her journey yet.
I had not.
That's awesome. So you really, I think you just completely nailed her.
Oh, thank you.
So um, as we got into the book, I started sending you like page treatments and, you know, sort of a rough layout of this illustration will go here and I want this illustration here. And you started just churning out pieces.
Hmm.
And one other one that I want to focus on, this is one of my favorite, this isn't Lucy, but it's one of my favorite illustrations in the book. We were trying to get
Uh,
examples of different kinds of dancing that Lucy would watch and love. And there was can dancing and tap dancing and ballerinas and break dancers. And I gave you that idea, and I think that's all I said. Just a couple of break dancers, and
yeah.
you did this image which has so much movement and so much life. I just absolutely love it. Was there any challenge in coming up with how you wanted the dancers to be posed and that kind of thing?
Um, Not too much. I rely pretty heavily on references when I do my drawing. So I just, for each type of dance, I Googled can dancers, I Googled ballerinas, and for this, I Googled break dancers. And I found this particular image of these two men breakdancing, and I really liked their movement, like
Hmm.
you said. And I thought this would be absolutely perfect, and their clothes fit the vibe too. So I just went off reference and drew them.
Um, Kat says that the break dancers print is brilliant.
Thank you.
I agree. I absolutely love it. Um, Allison says, oh, wait, I'm going out of order because Rachel said, hold the phone. Rachel said, great book to read along with your child. Great illustrations.
That's my mother.
Ah, I thought the lane might have been a giveaway. And Allison does confirm that Rachel may be biased.
Just a little bit.
There's nothing wrong with bias.
Nah.
Um, and Allison had a question for me. She's wondering why dancing was the subject of the book. And I'll tell you, there is a David Bowie song called Lucy Can't Dance that I've got this massive David Bowie playlist of every song he's ever recorded. And I've listened to that song hundreds of times. And I was at work one day and I was just listening to it. And suddenly the title, Lucy Can't Dance, just sprang into my head like that would be a great picture book. That would be a great kid's story. So the song has nothing at all to do with, a kid who is trying to figure out self-expression and creativity and all that kind of stuff. It's just this weird song that he wrote, which I love. But the title suggested the subject matter. And this sort of like really rough story just sort of like flowed right into my head. It still took another, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months to get the text the way I wanted it, to get the story laid out the way I wanted it. But that's where it came from. A David Bowie song called Lucy Can't Dance. Now, I've got people who have suggested to me that we, make this a series and, go into all sorts of other things that Lucy can't do. Poor thing. Like
Oh my
Lucy can't
goodness.
ride a bike and, you know, so we'll have to give that some thought.
Poor Lucy.
Right? I don't want there to be too many things that she can't do. But it's a cute idea, to go into other areas. Another aspect of the book that we spent some time on was Lucy's friends,
Yes.
and I just think they're adorable.
Thank you.
So, what was your thought behind, and this is a great scene too, because it's them on the playground. So you really kind of had to build an environment for them. What was the thought behind creating the characters themselves?
Well, you asked me to make them as diverse as I could. So I tried to at least go on a spectrum of diversity and have two girls and two boys. So there
Yeah.
was an even um, amount there. And then have one boy who was Hispanic, an Asian girl, a redhead, and then a brunette. So there was, a
Hmm.
wide variety there. And that
Yeah.
was pretty much all that I went with.
I'm so terribly embarrassed that we never got around to naming these kids. We should really name them. In fact, that could be, in our upcoming series that has been suggested to us. We'll have to get around to each one of them having their own story as well.
Well, maybe each of these kids can't do something.
Exactly right. Exactly. Let's see who we have here. Katie, sorry, says, I might need to just buy the Breakdancers print if possible. My husband would love it. There you go.
Eric would love it. He would.
Is he a breakdancer?
No, but he would like it.
Awesome.
He might be a break dancer when he's had a few beers.
Allison suggests Lucy can't paint. Excuse to go get super colorful.
True.
Yeah, there you go. Let me go back to my. Okay, so one of the last set of images in the book. Oh, let me take the comment down. This is sort of toward the end where Lucy has now sort of embraced her, creative side, her exuberant side, and she's like taken up dancing, and now she won't stop dancing ever. So she dances
Right.
all day long and all night long, and I love the joy that are in these images.
Thanks.
And I know these were kind of like there was some discussion about if I remember rightly about because it was going to be the same setting, but in daytime and nighttime. And I think there was some
Right.
talk about color scheme and all this kind of stuff. Um, what, not necessarily these pages, but what was the biggest challenge that you can remember uh, encountering as we were putting this together?
Um, Probably, I would probably have to say, since I didn't have a whole lot of room to draw for each image, trying to establish an actual location or
Yeah,
or give it a sense of place within the limited amount of space I had to draw in, but
right.
also at the same time, not making it look too incredibly busy. I know I had that problem with the playground in the background a couple times.
I'm going to put that image up again.
So, like, I could have added like monkey bars or like a whole lot more, but I limited it to just the swing set and then the hopscotch on the blacktop. So
Hmm.
I figured that was enough to say, hey, that's a playground.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now that you've actually seen a copy of the book, you got
Yes.
it. You got it a few days ago, I think.
Yes.
Look at that! It's a book.
It's a book.
Ah! Um, what do you think of it?
Um,
Are you pleased
Mostly
with it?
I am very pleased. Mostly I'm just shocked that my artwork is in print. it might not be from a big publisher, but it's published in print and it's going to be in bookstores. So I'm
Yeah.
very happy, especially with this, like all the other times my artwork has been in print, it's been like part of a compilation, but this is me.
It's all you.
It's all me.
It's all
It's
you, baby.
yeah, it's scary and nerve-wracking, but very exciting at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Both of us do a lot of conventions, or at least in normal years, we do a lot of conventions. So I'm really looking forward to, and one of the hard things about this coming out when it did is that we're in the middle of this big dumb pandemic, and
Yeah.
it limits how much you can get out and do signings and do like public appearances and this kind of stuff. And so I'm really looking forward to hopefully next year getting back on the convention circuit and actually having people, see these books. I'm so excited about getting to do book signings at libraries and bookstores and, this kind of stuff. So
Yeah, that was one of the things I was looking forward to, was like maybe being able to drive out to Atlanta and do like, a bookstore signing or something with you. And then all this happened and,
yeah.
it just didn't work out that way. So fingers crossed that, things get sorted out and maybe we can do something next year.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. One of my favorite things that we did, and this is going back a couple of years, was when Children of Time came out. We did the big book launch at Hulanta.
That was the most surreal experience of
It
my
was so
life.
weird because we did it in our main programming in the big ballroom, and we had a good audience for it. And then we did a signing where we had it's a book where lots of different authors contributed chapters, and we had a bunch of the authors there, and we had this enormous line of people waiting to buy the book and have all these authors and you sign the book. And we sold 120 copies in an hour and a half or something. And it was insane.
Yeah, I've never been on that side of the table before, so it gave me a better appreciation for what guests at cons might feel like, having people come through their line saying, "Hey, I want your name on a piece of paper." Right?
Exactly. All right. So what's next for you? What else are you working on now, and what other projects do you have coming up?
Well, I took a short break from working on artwork for about a month or so because I got a little burned out, because since quarantine started, I have just been cranking out commission after commission.
Wow.
Like, I guess people just have nothing better to do than spend money. So I've just been doing so many commissions. So I took a break and I just opened them back up. And today I started a commission that is a Christmas gift for somebody. So I
Awesome.
can't say anything about what it is on the off chance that they may be watching.
Of course.
But it's fun and I hope they like it when they get it. But other than that, I am just I'm working on updating my most popular piece of artwork on Redbubble, which is an Art Nouveau series of all of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nice.
I drew it, I think, at the very beginning of season 4. So now I'm updating it to include stuff from all 7 seasons and also updating it to match my current art style,
Mm-hmm.
because it's changed a little bit since I first did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on that, and that's pretty much it right now as far as art goes. I'm just doing commissions and
Mm-hmm. How would you describe the evolution of your style?
um well, let me think. I actually did not draw very much from about the time I graduated college up until around 2013 or so. So that was about
Mm.
8 years or so.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, and when I picked it back up sometime around 2013, 2014, so from then until now, about 6 years, it's actually evolved quite a good bit, especially in terms of how I color things. Drawing has evolved a little bit, but the coloring has evolved a lot.
Mm.
So I often wonder where I'll be in another 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'll have so many published books to your name by that point. This is just the beginning.
We'll see.
All right, so let me get some comments. Ms. Lane says, I can see a whole series with Lucy and friends. That's right. I can too. We just got to get writing and drawing. Allison, Stephanie is very good at portraying emotions in her artwork.
Are you sure about that? I don't feel like I am. I feel like I struggle with emotions a lot, like with facial expressions. I feel like I struggle with that. So thank you. I'm glad you think I'm good at portraying emotions, Allison.
So clearly it comes across to others.
Oh, so. Yeah. And you know what they say, you are your own worst critic.
Oh, yeah. So. Oh, exactly. Christina says, sometimes keeping it simple is more impactful.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Lindsay says, Steph, do you have any particular techniques for capturing movement in your images? I can really feel the dancing in these still pictures.
I like to look at reference pictures for, like, if I want to draw a picture of two people dancing, I will Google or look for pictures of people actually doing that particular dance, and then, like, not actually copy the photo, but try and get that particular style of movement going in my drawing. Mm-hmm. Because references are your friend. References are good. Some of the best artists I know use references.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kat says, yes, girl, it's in print.
Yes, it is.
And then she makes sure to include me in that too. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
We're both in print.
Allison says, y'all know I work at a bookstore, right? Well, we just might have to come to your bookstore sometime.
Is Books A Million really going to let us in there, Allison?
They might. I mean, Barnes & Noble does that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay. She's going to have to get us a hookup and get us a free drink from the cafe.
Exactly. All right. So, she just says she can ask. Exactly. So Allison, I will talk to you because there's a distribution thing that I'm trying to get worked out. Once that's worked out, it should be available for to be ordered into the big box bookstores. So we'll get it. We'll get it. And then she says about the free drinks, how dare you take advantage of me like that?
I absolutely will.
Any final thing that you want to throw out there to the viewers about the book or about your projects or where folks can find you on the internet?
Like I said, I am open for commissions again. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Facebook at Eclectic Muses. That is, it's not electric. I get electric a lot, but it's eclectic. Eclectic Muses.
Right on.
Or you can just find me on Facebook at Stephanie Lane Jackson, and you can send me a message and we will work things out.
Very, very good. All right. So thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and talking about our big new project.
Thank you for asking me.
And I hope that you have a great night. I hope that you have a great rest of the year.
You too.
We have a nice holiday season coming up.
Yep.
And so anyway, thank you to the audience as well for hanging out with us, watching, pitching questions and comments. I hope everybody will please go and buy a copy of the book. and it'll make a great Christmas present, by the way. And share with other people and have ask them to buy the book as well. A grassroots movement.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody, take care. Have a great night. Be good to each other and spread love everywhere you go. And we will see you next time. Stephanie, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. And